for Indiana now, and they've been aggressive in trying to trade for that big athletic two-way wing player that they need to build out this roster. And if that's OG Anunoby, if that's Pascal Siakam in Toronto, those kinds of players, as they become available in trade talks, as the Pacers, you know that we are willing to risk giving up picks and assets because we believe we will be able to re-sign that player, that we're not going to lose them in free agency. And that's vital for an organization like Indiana because you can't always take great risks in places that are not free agent destinations. And what Tyrese Halliburton is determined to do is make Indiana a place where they can get great players and then keep them. And right now you look around the league and players talk and they see a player like who would not want to play with Tyrese Halliburton right now. And that is transcendent for a market and an organization like Indiana.
If you're a Pacer fan, this is what you like to hear. This is what you like to hear. Now, specifically, Woj named Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. As far as OG Anunoby, I'm already on record of saying he's not the guy the Pacers should get. Yes, he brings the defense, but offensively, he's not going to be able to be a consistent number 2 guy. Does OG Anunoby has a Mikal Bridges type leap in his game? I don't think he does. So why are we trading for him? Me personally, I'm a fan of Siakam. I've already been over this. Want to get a guy that can help you on both ends of the court. OG Anunoby is going to give you a defensive boost, but offensively, I don't see it. Now, a lot of people say, well, we don't need any offense. We don't need any offense. When it comes down to the trenches, you need to have your shit in order. You need to know who's your second option. I mean, shit, you kind of seen a preview of that versus the Lakers. That was a preview of the trenches. You got to have that second guy. But I'm not going to talk about Siakam right now. And I've already talked about Siakam enough. But one guy, I have not brought up that I think the Pacers should keep on their radar is Jeremy Grant. And I'm going to admit, his contract is not as bad as I thought. For some reason, I thought he was one of the most overpaid guys in the league. But when I really looked at his contract, it's not that bad. I mean, if you're a fan of getting Pascal Siakam, you should be a fan of getting a guy like Jeremy Grant. I mean, we're talking about the same age here. Siakam is a free agent, and he's going to probably get the same amount that Jeremy Grant got, if not more. And I honestly think Grant could give you the same level of production as a Siakam. It's just he doesn't have the experience over Siakam in big games. Siakam has been in the trenches. Grant has never been there. You look at that situation in Portland, I don't want to say it's a mess because they're not the Detroit Pistons. And they do have a bunch of young pieces over there like Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons. They got some ballers over there, but as far as guys like Jeremy Grant and Malcolm Brogdon, I mean, do they have a future with the Blazers? I definitely could see Portland putting Jeremy Grant on the trading block. If Portland puts Jeremy Grant on the trading block, I definitely think Kevin Pritchard need to check their temperature, see what they want. Does Jeremy Grant make sense for the Indiana Pacers? Y'all let me know. As far as Anthony Davis, what they call him? Anthony Day-to-Day Davis? I mean, what can you say about Anthony Davis? At the end of the day, he's still a beast. I mean, no matter what we say about him, the dude is still a beast. And I'm not understanding why people are blaming Miles Turner. Like, why are people blaming Miles Turner? Like, what do you expect from this guy? You Miles Turner fans set yourself up for this every time. You set yourself up for this every time. That was a time where I used to just get on here and just rip Miles Turner to shreds. It's like now it's like, that's how Miles Turner roll. Like, that's the difference between me and a lot of other Pacer fans. There's a lot of Pacer fans that expect Miles Turner to show up in big games or against elite competition. I don't. And I think that's why I'm kind of like, okay, it is what it is with Miles because I'm used to it. And I know it's crazy for me to be saying that for a guy that's making his salary, for me to just say I don't expect nothing from him in big games, but that's the reality. And I haven't really said much about Miles this year. Main reason is because people already know how I feel about Miles. Like, there's no reason for me to keep coming on here and talking about Miles when y'all already know how I really feel about him. Y'all already know deep down inside I want Tyrese Halliburton to have an all-star big man next to his side. Y'all already know I've been saying this shit forever. The way I felt about Miles 3 years ago is the same way I feel about him now. Like, why is Aaron Nesmith out there answering questions and not Miles Turner? I mean, this is being treated like a playoff type atmosphere. I mean, he had no problem being up there with Tyrese Halliburton after the first game. Come on now, win, lose, or draw. You go up there and talk. You supposed to be the leader of this team. You've been here the longest. The Pacers media, that's another thing that's making me sick. I'm not talking about that in-season tournament media. I'm talking about the Pacers media. Time after time, they let Miles Turner off the hook. I still think, I don't think, I know for a fact the Pacers media is scared of Miles Turner. Shit like that bugs my fucking soul. Quick to criticize guys like Ben Mathurin, Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown. Want to talk about rebounding issues, paint issues, all these issues. Point to the man in the middle, Miles Turner. Won't you just say his name is Miles Turner? The Pacers can't rebound. It starts with the center. Everything. Rebounding starts with the center. Quick to criticize guys like Ben Mathurin, even Buddy Hield. Can we win a championship with Miles Turner? I mean, I don't know. The Milwaukee Bucks won a championship with Brook Lopez, and I think that's who Miles Turner needs to model his game after. Brook Lopez is a poor rebounder just like Miles Turner. But it helps to have Giannis on your team who's averaging 11, 12 fucking rebounds a game. Are the Pacers going to have a guy on their team averaging that to cover up for Miles Turner like the way Giannis cover up for Brook Lopez? I don't think so. So the Pacers will always suck at rebounding as long as the big man in the middle can't rebound. It's that simple. But instead of just saying this, it's just a team effort. The team has to do better. The team has to do this. The team has to do that. But you'll single out Ben Mathurin's issues. You'll single out Buddy Hield's issues, but won't single out Miles Turner's issues. The fact that he can't rebound for his position and his size. The stats for the Lakers game actually don't count. So he's had 3 straight games with 10 plus rebounds. Those are the rebound numbers we need him to average for a season. Why can't he average 10 rebounds a game? He has the size. Nobody's stealing rebounds from him. And with this fast-paced style, getting extra possessions, there's no reason he shouldn't be averaging 10 rebounds a game. He was becoming a sniper. I don't know what happened to that, but 32% is not acceptable. Has to go back up to 37. If not 37, 35. I mean, come on. 32% is not acceptable. I mean, as far as Miles Turner's performance, I don't think much of it. See, you want to constantly talk yourself into believing he's a top 5 center. See, you want to constantly talk yourself into believing he's an all defensive team caliber player. Are you kidding me? When's the last time you even heard anybody mention all NBA defense and Miles Turner in the same sentence? The last week or two, it just seemed like we faced a gauntlet, as far as the schedule. Detroit, you don't want to overlook them, but come on now. Come on now. You got to take care of Detroit. No disrespect to Detroit, but, they need to blow it up over there. I can't even say that because they already blew it up last year. So what they need to let off a second grenade or something in there? Something needs to happen in Detroit. But, if you're the Pacers, you cannot lose to these guys. Seriously. They've lost 19 in a row. We'd actually look like fools if we lost to them. Just please, 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 please. Just don't lose to the Pistons, man. Please. As far as the in-season tournament, man, it was a good experience for the guys, Now, what you going to do now? You going to build on that experience? Or you going to come out and lay an egg versus Detroit? The in-season tournament experience can go a long way. Now this team knows they can do anything. Now this team know the sky's the limit. You walked out of this tournament knowing you got a player on your team that has a killer instinct. Tyrese Halligoat. You know you got a player that's going to lead your team in big games. I thank you for the in-season tournament. I now know what this team is capable of. So I expect nothing less. It's still playoffs or bust. But don't get mad at the facts, though.